All right, let's dive into a story that's, well, it's truly one of a kind. It's a story about faith, incredible patience, and maybe most importantly, the amazing power of forgiveness. So, what makes this story so special? Well, for one, the Quran itself calls it the most beautiful of stories. And think about this. Unlike a lot of other stories of prophets that are mentioned in different parts, this one, the story of Yusuf, or Joseph as you might know him, it's all there in one single continuous chapter. That right there tells you, okay, this is a big deal. It's meant to be taken in as one complete lesson. And believe me, this isn't just some old historical tale. It's pure human drama. You've got everything: jealousy that tears a family apart, betrayal, unbelievable suffering. I mean, it takes you from the absolute bottom of a well all the way to the top. And it really makes you wonder, right? What can a story like this teach us about getting through the tough times and, finding it in our hearts to forgive? Okay, so where does this whole epic start? It all kicks off with a dream, a single vision that a young boy has, which ends up sparking this incredible saga. So young Yusuf has this dream, and it's not just any dream. He sees 11 stars, the sun, and the moon, all bowing down to him. Can you imagine? It's a pretty clear sign that something huge is in store for this kid, a future with some serious authority. And right away, you see the conflict brewing. His father, Yaqub, that's Jacob, he gets it immediately. He knows this dream is a big deal, a prophecy. But he also knows it's dangerous. Why? Because of his other sons. Yusuf's brothers are already just eaten up with jealousy. They think their dad loves Yusuf more than all of them combined. So this dream, yeah, it's like pouring gasoline on an already smoldering fire. This is where things get really dark. That jealousy turns into something awful. At first, one of them even suggests killing him. The compromise they land on is to just get rid of him. So they trick their little brother, take him out, and throw him into a deep well. To top it all off, they go back to their dad with his shirt stained with animal blood and lie, saying a wolf got him. Just brute. But that's not the end for Yusuf, not even close. Being stuck in a well is actually just the start of his journey. From the well to a whole new world in a palace, this is where his patience really gets tested. So he gets rescued from the well by a caravan, which sounds great, right? But then he's sold as a slave in Egypt. He ends up being bought by this high-ranking official, a guy named Al-Aziz. So he's gone from a beloved son to a slave in a foreign land. What a turn of events. And in this new life, a completely different kind of test comes up. Yusuf grows up to be an exceptionally good-looking man, and the wife of his master, Zuleika, well, she tries to seduce him. But Yusuf's faith is rock solid. He resists and he asks God for refuge from this test. This next part is straight out of a movie. He runs, she grabs his shirt from the back and tears it. Her husband walks in and she immediately accuses Yusuf. But someone in the household comes up with this genius piece of logic. They say, hey, check the shirt. If it's torn from the front, he's guilty. But if it's torn from the back, then she's lying and he was telling the truth. And of course, it was torn from the back. So he's proven innocent, right? Case closed? Nope. To avoid a scandal and protect the family's reputation, Al-Aziz decides to throw Yusuf in prison anyway. Totally unjust. And this is where his faith faces an even bigger challenge, in the face of this huge injustice. Now, this is so important to understanding Yusuf. Even in prison, with literally nothing, his strength comes from this core belief: Tawheed, the absolute oneness of God. It's not just some abstract idea for him. It's like his entire operating system. It's the source of all his strength and his incredible patience through all of this. And you really see his priorities in prison. Two of his cellmates have these dreams and ask him to interpret them. But what's the first thing he does? He doesn't just jump in and show off his dream reading skills. No. First, he talks to them about worshiping the one true God. He calls them to Tawheed. He puts his mission as a prophet first, before helping them with their personal problems. That tells you everything about his character. So years go by, Yusuf is just sitting in prison, pretty much forgotten. But that same gift for understanding dreams, the one that got him all this attention, it's about to be his ticket out. From a prisoner to, well, you'll see. The big break comes from the king himself. He has this crazy, unsettling dream about 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 skinny ones, and 7 healthy ears of grain being devoured by 7 dry ones. None of his advisors have a clue what it means, and it's really freaking him out.
And that's when his old cellmate, who now works for the king, suddenly remembers him. Hey, I know a guy. So they summon Yusuf from prison. And he doesn't just say, oh, the dream means this. He interprets it perfectly, predicting 7 years of prosperity, followed by 7 years of terrible famine. And then he gives them the whole plan on how to survive it.
The king is blown away. He sees Yusuf's wisdom and integrity, so he doesn't just set him free, he makes him the treasurer of Egypt, the guy in charge of all its resources. Think about that journey, from a well, to a slave, to a prisoner, now to basically prime minister. All that patience finally paying off in a huge way. All right, fast forward a bit, Yusuf's plan works, he saves Egypt, but now comes the ultimate test of his character. It's one thing to be patient when you're suffering, right? But what do you do when you have all the power? The famine hits just like he said it would. And who shows up in Egypt looking for food? You guessed it, his brothers. They come begging for grain, and they have absolutely no clue that this powerful man they're pleading with is the very same brother they threw in a well all those years ago. I mean, this is the moment. He has all the power. They are completely at his mercy. After everything they did to him, what's he gonna do? This is the ultimate test, right? And here's the climax of the whole story. He reveals who he is, and in this moment, when he could have done anything, he chooses total, unconditional forgiveness. He says to them, there's no blame on you today. May God forgive you. He doesn't even make it about himself. It's just an incredible display of grace. And so the family is finally brought together in Egypt. And that dream from all those years ago, it comes true. He raises his parents up to a place of honor, and his 11 brothers, the 11 stars, they bow to him. The whole journey comes full circle. So what's the big takeaway here? I think it's hope. If this family, a family that went through so much betrayal and pain, could find their way back to each other, well, then there's hope for all of us. There's hope for our families, no matter what we're going through. You know, the Quran calls this story a sign for those who ask. It's not just something to listen to, it's something to really think about and learn from. So I'll leave you with this question. In our own lives, with all the challenges we face, what signs, what lessons can you find in Yusuf's timeless journey for yourself?